Before you fell in love with them, they were already running a script. Every message, every gift, every moment that felt too perfect to be real. It was designed that way. This technique is called love bombing, and it is one of the most effective dark psychology manipulation tactics ever documented. It doesn't just happen in romantic relationships. It happens in friendships, in workplaces, and inside families. And most people never recognize it until the damage is already done. Today, we're going to change that. Love bombing is the deliberate flooding of another person with affection, attention, and praise, not out of genuine feeling, but as a calculated strategy of control. The term was coined by psychologists studying cult behavior. Cult leaders would shower new recruits with unconditional warmth and belonging, manufacturing a sense of family before demanding total loyalty. Narcissists, sociopaths, and emotionally abusive partners use the exact same mechanism. Here is what makes it so effective. It works with your brain, not against it. When someone gives you intense, focused attention, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical triggered by food, by money, by winning. You begin to associate that person with reward, with safety, with euphoria. And once that association is wired in, walking away becomes almost neurologically impossible. That is the design, not the side effect, the goal. Love bombing is not a sign of deep affection. It is a down payment on control. To understand why love bombing works, you need to understand intermittent reinforcement. In psychological experiments, subjects given rewards on a random schedule become more dependent on those rewards than subjects given rewards consistently. Uncertainty amplifies desire. Unpredictability deepens attachment. Love bombers understand this instinctively, even if they can't name it. In the early phase, the attention is constant, overwhelming. You feel chosen, special, like nothing in your life has ever felt this real. And then, without warning, it pulls back. A short reply instead of a paragraph. Canceled plans. Sudden coldness. Your brain, now dependent on that dopamine hit, goes into a quiet panic. You wonder what you did wrong. You work harder to return to that feeling. And when the warmth comes back, and it always comes back, the relief is so powerful, it deepens the bond rather than breaking it. This cycle, idealize, withdraw, idealize again, is the engine of emotional dependency. It is not love. It is a trap with a beautiful entrance. We just covered the psychology of why love bombing works. Now I want to show you exactly how to spot it, because the signs are specific, and once you see them, you cannot unsee them. Sign 1. The pace is unnatural. Within days or weeks, they are already talking about the future, moving in together, soulmates, forever. A love bomber collapses the normal timeline of a relationship because they need emotional leverage before you develop healthy skepticism. If it feels like the relationship is moving faster than you consciously chose, it probably is. Sign 2. The attention feels like pressure. Genuine affection allows space. Love bombing does not. If they need to know where you are at all times, if they call back within seconds every time, if an unanswered message triggers an emotional reaction, that urgency is not love. It is possession disguised as devotion. Sign 3. Compliments are excessive and strangely specific. Not "you're beautiful," but "I have never met anyone like you in my entire life. You're unlike anyone I have ever known. I was waiting for you." These statements are engineered to make you feel irreplaceable and, therefore, afraid to lose them. Sign 4. The pullback. When you establish any boundary, express any hesitation, or simply have a difficult day, the warmth vanishes. This is the tell. Real affection does not evaporate when you're human, but a love bomber's affection was always conditional. It was always leverage. This is also the clearest way to spot a narcissist in any relationship, romantic or otherwise. Real connection tolerates your humanity. A narcissist's attention was never unconditional. The moment you stop performing, you stop being valuable. Most advice on this topic tells you to trust your gut and set boundaries. That is true, but it is not enough. Here is what actually works. Slow the timeline deliberately. Not because you're playing games, because reality requires time to reveal itself. A love bomber cannot sustain the performance. Given enough time, the mask slips. Any person who responds to a natural, unhurried pace with anxiety or guilt is showing you exactly who they are. Measure consistency, not intensity. Love bombers are exceptional in the short term. They are built for the opening act. A partner who is consistently present, consistently honest, and consistently calm over months and years, with no dramatic highs and lows, is worth 10 times more than someone who overwhelms you and then disappears. Do not negotiate with your discomfort. Survivors of emotionally abusive relationships almost universally report the same thing. Something felt wrong from the beginning. They talked themselves out of it. Your nervous system detects threat before your conscious mind does. If something feels rushed, pressured, or too perfect, that feeling is data. Treat it as such. Protect your outside relationships. Love bombers isolate. It starts as subtle criticism of your friends, small comments, manufactured friction. Then their needs begin to crowd out your time with everyone else. Your external relationships are your mirror and your emergency exit. Keep them intact. Love bombing doesn't happen because you were weak. It happens because you were human, and someone decided that was enough of an opening. The moment you can name what is being done to you, the mechanism loses its power. You cannot be manipulated by something you can see clearly. That is what this channel is built around. The next video covers something most people find even harder to identify, because it doesn't look like abuse at all. It looks like someone who just really needs you. Subscribe so you don't miss it.